Hi guys, welcome to this week's video. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about lengthy night wakings. This is a very common scenario. Normally speaking, you'll experience this with babies between the ages of 8 to 10 months of age up until anywhere between 18 months to 2 years. And when I say lengthy night wakings, I'm talking they can be awake overnight, anywhere between 1 to sometimes 2 hours overnight. So it's lengthy, and all the feeding and rocking and bouncing and even pain relief in the world will not get them to go back to sleep. Why does this happen? It's from development. It's generally because they're going through some type of stage, whether they've learned a new skill, learning a new skill, developmental progression, regression, leaps, whatever you want to call them. That's why they wake up and go through that. So normally what you'll experience is after around midnight, your baby or toddler will wake up and generally be quite happy. They might whinge, they might grizzle, but overall they're pretty happy. They might babble to themselves and have a good old chit chat, and they may even start doing whatever they've done or learnt, whether it's crawling or standing or walking or clapping or blowing raspberries or whatever it might be. They will want to do that at 1 a.m. So the good news is there's nothing wrong with that. Even my own clients will work so hard to get their baby or toddler sleep on track. They are falling asleep independently. They're linking their sleep cycles. They're self-settling. They're weaned off night feeds. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they will start waking up randomly, usually after midnight, for a long period of time. And that's when the parents start to think there's something wrong. Something must be going on. And it's a very, very normal stage of the development and also sleep. So the most important thing here is, and my biggest tip here is how you manage it has everything to do is how your baby or child is going to go back to sleep once this little blimp or stage or phase is over. So my biggest piece of advice would be to preferably avoid intervening unnecessarily. So the first thing I suggest is to stall. Don't go and respond immediately. Give them space, give them time, give them the opportunity to rumble around in there, learning that new skill, processing that information, because they don't necessarily need anything. They don't need a feed. Generally, a lot of the time they don't need a feed. They're not in any pain or discomfort. They're just awake. And like I said, you could go in there and you could pat their bottom for 2 hours straight, and it's not going to get them to sleep any quicker. And you'll go insane. You'll be thinking, oh my God, you'll be in there awake the whole time anyway. And although you're not going to be able to go back to sleep and just doze off, you're going to be mindful that they're awake, and you could probably hear and see them on the monitor or even in this room if they're in the same room. It's going to be very unlikely you're going to just drift back to sleep. But the best thing you can do is not intervene too much. What you may experience after that hour and a half or even 2 hours of them being awake for that period of time, that's when they're likely to get themselves into a bit of a pickle, where they are at that point frustrated, tired, possibly even a little bit hungry. They're now ready to go back to sleep. And that's your opportunity at that point, if need be, to intervene. And they may need a little bit of encouragement to get them back to sleep. And that might mean some mattress pats. They might not necessarily need patting themselves because they may have already known what to do and how to do it. But a little bit of encouragement, mattress pats, bum pats if you feel the need, even a little brief feed. You know, if you want to give them a feed or they've not usually have a feed, you want to keep it short, you want to keep it sweet, you want to keep it minimal, but they may just need that little bit of something to get them back over the line and get them back to sleep. So that's, once they're back to sleep, perfect, that's great. But what the other important thing is to be mindful of and is to consider is to wake them up for the day around about the same time. So that would be anywhere between 6 and 7 a.m. What you don't want to allow them to do is wake up for, say, 2 hours throughout the night from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. as an example, and let them sleep until 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning. You don't want that, because then that kind of condones that behavior. And although they're likely to do that for a few consecutive nights, what you want to try and encourage them to do is to be quite inconvenient. So that means at 6 or 7, you wake them for the day, your day continues as normal, and then in the event that happens again at night, which it may, you just intervene as less as possible. And my motto here is offer as much comfort as you need to, but as less as possible. And that's kind of my motto with sickness, with night wakings like this. Once this little phase or blimp or stage is over, your baby or child or toddler will go back to sleeping well, because their expectations around sleep really haven't changed. It's a very, very normal part of the developmental process. It's all about how you manage it as to how your baby will sleep once this little blimp is over. So look, I hope that helps. For more information on night wakings, night weaning, night feeding, anything to do with baby sleep or toddler sleep, I've got all that information inside the Baby Sleep Magic app, which also offers a 3-day free trial. So feel free to go there. There's plenty of information, videos, tutorials to help you and guide you every step of the way. And there's also a community in there as well. So if you have any queries or questions, feel free to pop them in the community, where I personally answer them myself.